So we'll just start in any comfortable seat. So you can stay in your chair, you can sit on the floor. And whenever you find your comfortable space, maybe make sure that your sit bones are really rooting down so you can feel the bones underneath the flesh of your seat. And then make sure your spine is straight. So feel the navel pull in slightly to the spine, so feeling the low back lengthen. Let your arms just rest heavy, so your shoulder blades are drawing slightly together down the back. There's a slight tuck in the chin, so the back of the neck is long and the crown of the head is lifted. Beautiful. You can let your eyes close. Let's take a big cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. Allowing the shoulders to drop a little bit more. And just letting your breath be natural. Relax the muscles of the forehead. Relax the eyebrows. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. So really feeling everything in the body softening. Letting go of any need to hold anything up, just letting yourself sit in your seat, listening to the breath. And feeling your alignment in your body. So feel your head right over your heart, right over your hips. Feeling yourself rooted down, supported and secure through your seat. And then lifted and light through the crown of the head. Each vertebrae is just effortlessly stacked on top of one another. And then just allowing your body to breathe by itself. Not having any control over the breath just yet. Just checking in with how your breath is in this moment. And now start to listen really intently to all the sounds that exist around you and within you. So maybe your house is pretty quiet. Maybe you just hear the humming of the lights. Maybe you hear some traffic outside or some birds. Listening to wherever your attention is naturally taken to. You don't have to think about this, just letting yourself listen. And begin to listen to your thoughts as well, listening to the mind. So noticing if any opinions or judgments are popping up. Noticing if the mind's wandering to the past, thinking about anything at all before this exact moment. Or notice if you're wandering to the future, maybe planning, maybe multitasking, trying to get some things done as you sit here. And when you notice that the mind's wandering either to the past or to the future, that automatically brings you into the present. So if you have no other goal for this practice, you can let that be your goal. Just to be fully present with yourself. Noticing the mind, noticing the breath and the body. So the next time you inhale, reach both of your arms up and over your head. And get really long in the sides of the body. So if you notice that the ribs start to flare open, see if you can tuck them back under, keeping the spine really long. Feeling the bottom of the ribs separate from the sit bone. So feeling the sides of your body getting nice and long. You can wiggle out the fingers, roll out the wrists, and maybe add some movement here if that feels good. And if at any point your arms start to feel tingly or weird, just let them rest down. There's no need to strain here. And then gently let your arms rest down on the thighs. And then as you exhale, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. So letting the head tip off to the right, stretching out the left side of your neck. So focus on feeling the space between your shoulder and your ear. So feeling that space getting nice and long, and maybe your head's not going too far, and that's okay, just letting it be wherever it naturally falls. And breathing there. Keeping the spine straight. Not forcing anything, just allowing your head, the weight of your head, to stretch you out. If it feels good, you can reach your left fingertips down and away from you. So feeling the stretch now a little bit down the arm. So from the fingertips now all the way through the ear. Feeling that nice line you're creating. And if all of this feels okay, then you can also bring your right hand on top of the left ear. And you're not pulling the head in any way, you're just letting the weight of your hand on top of the head deepen the stretch slightly. So throughout the class, we're not really pulling ourselves into any position, we're simply allowing gravity to do more of the work. We're getting ourselves into a position where we can soften and breathe. And from here, just start to tuck your chin down toward your chest a little bit more, so your gaze is coming toward the ground. So now feeling this down the back left side of the neck a bit deeper. Breathing really deeply into this space. This might feel really intense, this might feel really good. However it feels, breathing into it. And you can envision the space between your left fingertips and your left ear getting a little bit longer every time you exhale. One more full breath here. And then just gently release the head and allow your chin to dangle down to center. You can bring the chin to the left shoulder and then back around. You can just circle the head a few times. Moving as slowly or as quickly as you like, but really feel the difference in the sides of your neck right now. Just noticing what a little bit of stretching can do. And then when you feel ready, you can just gently bring your head back to center. And then we'll do that on the other side. So you let your left ear come closer to the left shoulder. Now stretching out the right side of the neck. Taking deep exhales. And each time you exhale, just feel your shoulder, your right shoulder, soften a little bit more and feel your head become a little bit heavier. You just allow a little bit more. And you can notice right away if this feels a lot different on this side. There's usually one side that's going to feel different. It's more uncommon that you would feel even. So if this feels okay on this side, you can start to reach your right fingertips down and away. Just feeling the stretch a little bit longer. From the right fingertips through the right ear. Bringing attention back to the breath. And noticing if anything else is tensing up, softening that. Maybe the face or the jaw is starting to tense up. And just keeping your eye on that. Softening wherever you can. And then if this feels great, you can bring the left hand on top of the right ear, just adding that little extra bit of weight to the head. And you can let your exhales be audible too. That can really communicate to the body that we're releasing when we hear an exhale. A few more breaths here. And then just slowly start to tuck your chin down toward the chest. So now getting the stretch down the back right side of the neck. Breathing deeply. Maybe you're feeling this down your shoulder blade as well, maybe down the arm. Wherever you're feeling this, you can visualize your breath traveling there on your inhales and just releasing, softening that space on your exhales. And 2 more deep breaths. And then just gently release the head when you feel ready. And take a few neck rolls once again. So you can go in both directions. You can just let your head kind of guide you, trusting wherever your head wants to linger or skip over. Maybe feeling the neck a little bit more even now. And then let's meet with our chin down at the center of our chest. So the chin is tucked, but the spine is still straight. So you can still feel the shoulder blades coming together and down the back. And the chin is just reaching toward the chest. And you might feel this really intensely down the back of your neck and then anywhere in your spine. You might feel this in your low back or your upper back. And if you want to intensify the stretch a little bit, you can interlace your hands and bring them behind the head, letting the elbows just dangle by the sides of the ears. And again, we're not pulling anything, just allowing the weight of your hands to rest on the head, allowing gravity to do that work. And if at any point in this class, if something doesn't feel good, just don't do it. Just skip over it. I can always offer some modifications. This is about feeling good. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then begin to push the back of your head into your hands and open up your elbows toward the sides of the room, just expanding through the heart center. And lift the tip of your chin away from the sternum. So getting some space in the throat. Letting the head rest in the hands. Awesome. And then just gently release the hands, maybe shake something out, maybe adjust if you're sitting cross-legged, you can change the crossing of your legs. And then we'll just start to do some more shoulder, wrist, and arm work. So when you're ready, you can bring your arms out to shoulder distance with your palms facing away from you. And maybe bring them in a little bit closer just so that they stay in line with the shoulders. So really feel the fingertips reaching toward the forearms, feeling the energy reaching through the heels of the hands. And then plug your shoulders back into place. So feel the shoulders come together and down the back. Perfect. So you're feeling your arms are stretching yourself out. Your shoulders are coming in the opposite direction as the heels of the hands. Breathing here. And then just start to dial your left palm. So your fingertips face down. Perfect. And the palms facing away. And then grab hold of your left pinky with your right hand and just gently pull down and toward you. So when you do this, feel this stretch up the whole side of your arm on the pinky side, feeling and keeping the shoulder plugging back into place. So feeling that whole space stretching out, and do this to every finger. So you can go onto the ring finger, gently tugging down and toward you, and just starting to become aware and feel the lines of your arms, mostly here. You can do this to every finger. Feeling how your fingers are attached to the rest of your arm. And then once you get to the thumb, yeah, you got it. You just kind of grab it like this and pull it back towards you. Perfect. And then from here, just turn your palm to face towards you now. So your fingers are still facing down. Perfect. And then bring your right thumb to the palm of your hand and start to push the palm of your hand away from you as you pull the fingers towards you. Yeah, stretching out the forearm really nicely here. And then still plugging the shoulder back into place. So feeling that opposing direction, I guess. Breathing into the left forearm. And then you can just release that, shake out that hand, shake out that arm. These are great things to do if you're spending a lot of time on the computer too, if your wrists are feeling weird. So we'll do that on the other side when you're ready. So bring the palms out to face away, dial the right fingertips down, palms still facing away. And then you can grab hold of the right pinky and gently pull down and toward you. And you can take a bit longer on a certain finger if it feels particularly like it wants some attention. So just gradually moving down each finger, gently pulling it down and toward you, feeling that whole stretch up the arm. Always moving the shoulder back into place. And then getting to the thumb and grabbing it this way. Come up with a better way to describe that. Got it. Great. So then when you're done on this side, you can just turn the palm to face toward you, fingertips still facing down. And then bring your thumb to the center of the palm, pushing the palm away from you as you bring the fingers in towards you. And then plugging the shoulder back in. Nice stretch down the whole forearm here. And you can always play around, maybe like rotating the wrist a little bit, finding those sweet spots in your body. Everyone's body is going to be a little bit different. A few more breaths here. And then you can just release that hand, shake it out. And we'll do some more shoulder work. So first we'll do sort of some simple shoulder rolls. So bring your shoulders forward, up to the ears, together down the back. So rolling them backwards and kind of exaggerating this a little bit. And always option to close the eyes if you just really want to tune into how it feels in your body, maybe where there's some creaks or some little places that catch. Just moving as fast or as slow as you naturally want to move. And then when you feel ready, you can switch directions. So bringing the shoulders together and then up and then forward and down. And we'll do some self-massage techniques. So you can bring your right hand to your left shoulder and do that same thing. Just roll your shoulder forward and back, just on the left side, focusing. And you don't really need to do much with the hand. Just having the hand there and feeling the shoulder roll against it, maybe playing with where the hand is. You could hold on to this part, the back of the shoulder blade a little bit more, maybe where there's some more knots, and play around with that. So you can roll your shoulder back, you can roll it forward. Maybe just getting some kinks out. And again, the hand isn't doing much work here. This is the shoulder, just using the hand. Maybe moving around the neck too. That can create some more space, some more spots can be found there. It's giving yourself some love. If you want to linger a little more on this side, if it feels extra good, you can. And if you're ready to switch sides, you can do that also. So just bringing the left hand over to that right shoulder blade area, same thing, just rolling it forward and back. Yeah, I definitely encourage you to close the eyes here, because there's something about, you can really feel into the muscles and into the knots when the vision's taken out of it. Really tuning in. Noticing what the breath is doing. Making sure you're breathing, making sure the face is relaxed. And then when you feel even, you can just release that hand back down to your seat. And then we'll do some more spinal stuff. So as you inhale, you can reach both of your arms up. Then as you exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee and your left hand back behind you. So we're twisting to your left. And you might not twist so far, and that's okay, but feel that your hips are staying square to right in front of you, and then your shoulders are coming as far as they can to come square to your left. So really twisting from the navel, feeling the navel just sink into the spine, finding a little bit more space to twist. And each time you inhale, envision a string at the crown of your head, lifting you up, lengthening in the spine. And each time you exhale, feel yourself twist a little bit deeper, wringing out the spine. Let's take 3 more inhales and exhales here. And then we'll start to come back to center. You can reach your arms up as you inhale. And then exhale, let's twist the other way. So the left hand comes to the right knee and the right hand back behind you. Twisting the other way. Same thing on this side. Every inhale, you find more length in the spine. And every exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. Just feeling your hips staying square to your front. Twisting from the belly. Two more breaths here. And then coming back to center. If there's anything you want to shake out, just kind of let it out here. And I want to do something just to kind of wake up the rest of the body. So if you're on the floor, you can extend the legs. And even in a chair, you can just leave the legs where they are. Maybe straighten them out straight if that feels better. And we're just going to do some tapping. So bring your fingertips to your collarbone area. And just take some taps here. So you can tap on the bones, on the chest. You can tap on the shoulders. Just using your fingertips to sort of stimulate some blood flow to this area. You can go in any rhythm. And then just keep exploring this. So keep tapping. You can tap on the face. You can tap on the neck. Maybe closing the eyes. And you can tap down the arms too. So bringing wherever you go. We're going to go to the whole body. So you can take your time in any areas. And doing this is just really stimulating blood flow to the skin, to the area of the body. Like when we have a cut when we're kids and we hold it or rub it, it's that same idea of just how our touch and bringing energy to that area of the body can be really helpful. So you can tap the belly, the legs. Feet. Just a few more breaths, tapping wherever naturally want to tap. Okay, you can release that whenever you're ready. If you want to keep going, you're welcome to. And just pause for a moment in this. Just notice how you feel. Maybe you feel a little bit more stimulated through the body. And then from here, we're just gonna, if you're sitting on the floor, you can bring one leg in toward the body. So the sole of your left foot's coming to the inner right leg. And you can do, if you have the space on a chair to do that, you can as well. Or you can just be sitting in the chair, one leg bent, one leg extended, like this. So we're just gonna do a forward fold. We're getting deeper into the hamstring now. So in the chair, you can just kind of fold here. If you have a pillow or if you have anything, you can rest your head on your hands, on your knee, like this. Just feeling this in your right hamstring. And on the floor, it's the same thing. So just folding over that hamstring and feel your shoulders squaring your leg. So that you really can feel that focus on the right hamstring. And each time you inhale, just find a little bit of length throughout the body. So maybe the hamstring lengthens, maybe the spine lengthens. And each time you exhale, see if you can fold a little bit deeper or hinge at the hips a little bit more. And you can envision your inhales traveling to the right hamstring and your exhales softening and dispersing through the right hamstring. Feeling that entire space from the right sit bone through the back of the leg, all the way through the heel. Each exhale, let that space get a little bit longer. Five more breaths here. And letting the breaths be slow and deep and full. Going for quality over quantity here. One more full round. And then slowly starting to come back up to your seat, bringing the torso back up over the hips. And then we'll just switch legs. So you can extend your left leg long, bring the sole of the right foot into the inner thigh, or sitting in the chair, just doing the opposite. So you can maybe take a moment to just straighten out the spine. You can open up the chest a little bit since we just folded. And then when you're ready, we'll fold again. So finding that length and then hinging at your hips. And again, you can notice right away if it feels quite different on this side. The left side of our body is our yin energy. It's our feminine energy, the more passive and receiving side of the body. So sometimes if we have a more laid back lifestyle, our left side can be a bit looser. A lot of women, the left side is just naturally looser. And the right side is our masculine side. So if we have a more fire schedule, if we're doing a lot more in our days, more active lifestyle, our right side can be a little bit stronger or looser. So just understanding where you fall in that. A few more breaths here. Let's take two more full inhales and exhales. And then we'll slowly start to come back up to your seat. You can shake out the legs, maybe extend both of them, just tap them out. And then we'll do that with both legs. So since we loosened up either side, we'll try to do it now with both sides. So you can extend both of your legs long. Sitting in a chair, same thing, both legs long. And if you feel a little unsteady, you can always grab a pillow. I don't have any near me, but you can grab something near you and support yourself a little extra there. And find yourself hinging more at your hips. So think about getting a little more length in the lower back and keeping the spine longer and just hinging forward, feeling how you can get deeper into the hamstrings in that way. And if it feels better for you to stretch a little more actively, you can really flex the feet. So energy reaching through the heels of the feet, the toes coming toward the shins. That can also intensify this in the hamstrings. But you can play around, whatever feels right. If it feels better for you the muscles to be relaxed, then trusting that, and vice versa. Let's take 5 more breaths here. One more. And then slowly just start to walk the hands up the legs, bringing yourself back up to your seat gently. And now we will stretch deeper into the hips when you feel ready. Again, no rush in any of this. If you're sitting on the floor, what you can do is bend your left leg, bring the sole of that foot to the ground, and then bring your right ankle on top of that thigh. So you can even do this just with that leg extended if that's easier, and then bending that knee as much as you need to. And then sitting in a chair, a lot of people sit like this naturally. So you're just bringing your right ankle on top of the left thigh, a little closer to the knee. Creating this triangle shape with the legs. And keeping your right foot flexed. So that's very important, it protects the knee. Keeping the foot flexed the whole time. And feeling the knee reaching away from the body. So you have a little leverage here. You can even hold on to the foot and the knee and push that knee away from you a little bit more. So feeling this deep into that right hip, the groin area. And yeah, same thing sitting down. So you can bring your hands back behind you for some support. And bring that knee in as close as you can, really, but keeping that foot flexed and keeping the knee pushing away from you. And if you want to intensify this a little bit more, you can add a fold to it. So sitting in the chair, you can just start to hinge more at your hips, adding a little bit of a forward fold to the same stretch, noticing how you feel that deeper in the outside of the hip, the groin area. Wherever you are in this pose, just focusing on that right hip, that right sit bone, wherever you're feeling this. Especially in hip openers, our mind can want to run away from the sensations that we're feeling, because they can be pretty intense. So trying instead to focus all of your attention on that area of discomfort, or not pain, if you're feeling any pain come out of this, but if it's just some discomfort, try instead sitting fully in that. Bringing all your awareness to the right hip. 3 more breaths, seeing what else you can let go of. One more full breath. And then just slowly start to come out of this the way you came in. So if you're on the floor, extending the left leg. And then straightening out the right, you can shake them out. And feeling the difference in the hips before we even out. So when you're ready, you can do the same thing on the other side. So the left ankle comes on top of the right thigh, closer to the knee, and leaning back, starting to put a bend in the right leg. And sitting in a chair, just switching sides. So left ankle coming on top of the thigh, keeping the foot flexed, keeping the knee away from the body. Feeling this to start. And then when you feel ready, you can find yourself hinging at the hips, folding forward. Ooh, getting deeper into that hip. Just a few more breaths here. And then we'll slowly, when you feel even, you can start to make your way out of this pose. Just starting to walk the hands up the legs, just straighten out the right leg, straightening out both legs, moving really gently here. And you can shake them out, maybe pat them down, the hips. And we'll just do a few neck rolls again. So starting to wrap up, but in the same way that we started. So really feel if this practice has loosened a lot of stuff for you. So just bring your chin to your right shoulder and then down to the chest and then to your left shoulder and then making a rainbow with the chin. So bringing the chin up and away to the other shoulder. Perfect. And when you do lift the chin back or the neck back, you're not dumping the head back. You're more lifting the chin away from the sternum. So you're not putting too much pressure in the back of the neck. After going in one direction, you're welcome to switch directions whenever you'd like. And then slowly just starting to find your way back to center whenever you feel ready. And Sandy, is there a way you can lay down anywhere that you are on the floor? Yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll come down to lay on our backs when you feel ready. Starting to just wrap up the practice. So you can slowly lower yourself down, walking the hands down the thighs. Bring yourself to your back. And when you arrive, just let your knees hug into the chest. You can wrap the arms around the knees and just really gently rock side to side. So feeling the weight of your body, just massaging your low back against the mat. Feeling the full back, your entire spine, really flat against the mat. And noticing how when you shift really gently from side to side, you're just shifting the weight around, you're massaging the muscles, getting into the spine, even getting into the organs a little bit. Letting yourself move really slowly and mindfully. And then you can come back to center, release the feet to the ground, and then bring your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance. The soles of the feet are on the ground. And we'll just gently windshield wiper your knees back and forth. So same thing here. I really encourage you to move slower than you think is slow. It might feel like weirdly slow, but when you're doing that, pay really close attention to each point of your sit bones as it's making contact with the mat. You're really massaging the glutes here. You're releasing the low back. You're stimulating digestion. This is a really good thing to do before you go to bed. Again, you can linger in some areas if you find a sweet spot needs a little extra love. And then the next time both of your knees are dropped to the right side of your mat, just leave them there. Feel this nice external rotation in the right hip. Feel this internal rotation in the left hip. And maybe you extend your arms out to a T shape in line with the shoulders. The palms can be facing up or down. Do what feels better. And then turn your gaze to look off to your left. So you're twisting up the neck as well. Twisting in the belly. And just letting yourself soften here. So releasing any holding in the glutes and in the hips. And then gently bringing the head back to center, bring the knees back to center, and take that to the other side. So both the knees just fall off to the left. And just leave them there for a moment. Notice how that feels to have your left hip opening up and your right hip closing off. And then turning onto the right cheek or gazing off to the right, over the right fingertips. And letting yourself be soft here, not holding in the belly or the glutes. And starting to bring the head and the knees back to center. You can hug the knees back into the chest. And just to allow both of your feet to extend toward the ceiling. So you can shake out the legs here. You're not holding them tight. You're just letting them rest here. So letting all the muscles in the legs just release. All the muscles in the feet release. And allow the weight of your legs to rest in the hip sockets. And then you can reach your arms up to do the same thing. So releasing the hands and the arms, you can shake them out to just kind of communicate that to the body. Just release. And just let the arms hang out in the shoulder sockets. You're feeling the shoulders now being pinned to your mat by the weight of your arms, gravity. And then feeling the four corners of your torso. So both of your shoulders and both of your hips being pinned against the mat just by the weight of your own limbs and gravity. Feeling and allowing all the blood to rush down the legs away from the feet and down the arms away from the hands. Letting them grow a little bit warm, a little bit tingly with the change in blood flow. Feeling all the blood rushing to the shoulders and the hips, evening out the body, solidifying the postures we practiced today. A few more moments here. And then from here, you can bend the knees and bring the knees closer to the armpits. So coming into a happy baby posture. You can grab anything that's available. You can grab the inner thighs, you can grab the ankles, the feet. Just opening up the hips to the ceiling. An option to find stillness or rock a few times. I decide. Just channeling your inner happy baby, doing whatever feels right. And then when you feel ready, you can allow the soles of your feet to find each other and slowly lower the legs down so that the outside edges of your feet find the mat beneath the hips. Knees just fall off to the sides. You can roll the sit bones back. You can roll the shoulders under the spine, bringing palms to face upward by your side into your reclined bound ankle pose. There's also an option to bring your hands to your low belly, making a diamond shape with the thumbs and pointers touching. That feels nice. Or even bringing one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. If this pose feels really good and juicy for you, you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. If you want to straighten out the legs and come into your final resting pose, your final Shavasana, you may do so whenever you feel called. Wherever you are, just fully surrendering here. This is the most important pose of our practice. This is where the healing benefits of yoga can soak into the body. And the body evens out. So allow this process to happen for the next few minutes. Release the forehead, soften and expand in the forehead and the eyebrows a little bit more. Feel all the little muscles around your eyelids that usually scrunch up when you squint. Feel those muscles soften and release. Eyes are effortlessly closed. And the eyeballs sink down and back into the skull. Your inner gaze peering in toward the forehead. And start to notice and feel that pulsing sensation that exists in the space between the eyebrows. Let the jaw hang heavy. Let the tongue release from the roof of the mouth as the lips soften even more. Let the throat rest on the back of the neck as the collarbones broaden and expand. Shoulders heavy into your mat. Tuning into the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Feeling your heart pumping blood throughout the entire body, keeping you alive every moment of the day. Feel the pulse from your heart spread down the arms and into the palms of your hands. Feeling the heartbeat in the palms of your hands and each of your 10 fingers. Pulsing sensation in the hands. Almost as if you're holding little balls of light in each of your hands. Feeling that warmth growing in the palms of your hands. And then just allow that light to disperse and spread up the arms, back across the collarbones, meeting at the center of the chest in your heartbeat, where it's to be pumped throughout your entire body. So feeling the light spread down the torso, softening the ribs and the belly, easing digestion, Feeling that heartbeat in the belly, in the pelvic floor and the glutes, softening. The length and weight of your legs, the soles of your feet, and each of your 10 toes. Feeling the space from the soles of your feet all the way through to the crown of your head. Resting in this total body awareness for about 1 more minute. Start to notice how slow your breath has become. Almost non-existent. As we begin to slowly wake up from this sleep, start to consciously call air back into the body. As you inhale, feel the body filling up with air from the toes to the tip of your head, energizing the body a little bit more with each breath. Begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe rocking the head side to side. Just slowly adding some movement back into the body. Maybe you reach the arms overhead and take a nice morning stretch. Getting the body nice and long. And when you're ready, you can hug the knees in toward the chest and just make your way to a fetal position on one side. You can rest the head on the upper arm. Pausing for a moment here. And then you can leave the eyes closed just for now. And as you're ready, gently pushing your top hand into the ground, slowly finding your way back up to a seat where we started our practice today. And we can meet with hands at heart center whenever you arrive. So feeling your heartbeat once again, feeling the palms and the fingers, and fully, deeply thank yourself for showing up today, for taking the time out of your days in this incredible time we're living through, just to do something for you, this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you throughout the rest of your days and your weeks, and may you bring some of this love and light to everyone in your own lives. Namaste.